Entertainment. Ruslan.
Amen. Okay, this is a good question. That's kind of a follow-up. Shout out to Kevin who asked this. He says, what does living in the world and not of it mean to you? So being in the world but not of the world. I think it's a great question. I kind of talk about this a lot on my channel. How would you define that for you, Aaron? Like clearly you're in the world, you're up on fashion, you're up on the slang, you know what I'm saying? Like you're making music that's not just exclusively for Christians. But you're also, you're distinguished, you're different. You moved out at 18, you come from a great family, you got married at 22, you're being responsible. How does that look like for you living in the world versus being of the world?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think for me, because I have a lot of, you know what I'm saying, friends and stuff like that, like a better word, that's in, you know what I'm saying, in the world, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And I think it's just living your life to the biblical standard. It's like, I feel like, not to be, you know what I'm saying, simple or anything like that, but it's like, I feel like if I'm just living my life how God intended me to live it, like going by the Bible, you know what I'm saying, living, you know what I'm saying, how he wanted me to live, like it's automatically going to set me apart. Like there's nothing I can do about that. You know what I'm saying? If I'm chilling with, you know what I'm saying, my boys and they doing whatever, but I'm, you know what I'm saying, trying to live a life that's biblically, you know what I'm saying, sound and with God, I'm automatically just going to be set apart. There's nothing that I have to do to not be of the world, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I don't know if that's too like simple or
no.
What,
I think you nailed it. I think the way I would define it is if you want to be in God's will, you need to be living God's way. So there's a certain things that we just can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. There's no. You can't. You can't be in God's will and then be like, I'm gonna be an OnlyFans model for Jesus. Right? Like you can't do that. You can't be like, yo, I'm gonna live God's way and I'm gonna cook meth for Jesus. Like there's just certain things that you're not allowed to do as a Christian. Right. And so I think if you basically said it, like you said, hey, I'm living to the biblical standard that's expected of me as a man. I'm going to live God's way. And if you're in God's ways and you're following God's ways, then you'll always be in God's will. And I think that's the distinguishing part. Is you can be in the world as long as you're living God's ways. Being of the world is when you're not. The world's ways become your ways. Whatever the world says about sex, I'm going to adopt about sex. Whatever the world says about money, I'm going to adopt about money. So I think you're a good example of that, my brother.
King's Dream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Hey, thank you so much for making it till the end of this video. Remember to hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed. I wanted to tell you about a free upcoming course I am putting together at mastermyhabits.com. When you sign up right now, you'll be the first to be notified about the course. And in the meantime, you'll immediately get access to a playlist going over my journey on how I went from addiction to freedom forming habits. So make sure to hit that link in the description. I'll see you on the next video.